Welcome to the With Clarity and Purpose podcast with your host, Yanet Borrego. Each week, I bring you an inspiring person or message to empower you to live life on your terms so you can be who you want to be, do what you are meant to do, and have the life you deserve to have. We will provide you with practical and cutting-edge approaches to continue getting clarity and direction on your path, mastering your mindset, and gaining confidence to tap into your inner wisdom so you can live on purpose. One thing every successful individual, leader, and entrepreneur have in common is a consistent morning routine. Having a simple, easy to implement routine enables you to start your day with a sense of purpose, accomplishment, clarity, and direction. For this reason, I have prepared for you a free guide with an easy to follow 5 minutes morning routine and a tracking template where you can document your progress day by day. I've been receiving messages from some of you already telling me how this habit has transformed your days for the better. Download this 5 minutes morning routine right now by clicking the link on my show notes so you can start your day on purpose. I just finished listening at Atomic Habits and I needed to make an episode summarizing the key takeaways from this amazing book. Atomic Habits is a very popular book right now and it was written by James Clear. And it's such a great compilation of how to stay consistent with your habits, how to follow through and sustain this practice of keeping habits. And to be honest, this is such an important topic because our lives are built by patterns, right? We wake up, we brush our teeth, we think certain things, we get our coffee, we go to work, etc., etc. So these patterns form habits. And the quality of your life, the quality of your joy and happiness will depend strongly on the habits you are building, on the decisions and actions you are taking every single day. And I love talking about this book because it's the beginning of 2023, it's the beginning of the year, and I know many of you are in the process or finish the process of setting goals. And in order to execute those goals, habits are embedded in that process, the things that you do every single day. And my desired outcome for this podcast episode is to cover two of the most important mindsets in this book related to sustaining habits and two of the most life-changing tools that I've been utilizing that I learned in this book. My husband too has been using these tools. So, and all of my clients, one of the tools I am recommending to all of my clients, and they have been implementing this with great success. They have been super consistent, more consistent than ever. And it's just such a simple process to build this tool and just follow through with it. So let's start. So let's talk about mindsets, okay? Mindset shifts around habits. And I want this to be fully actionable. So I'm going to give you examples. I'm going to tell you how I'm utilizing it, how I'm coaching my clients to utilize this as they continue working through their high performance or wellness or romantic relationships journey. So the first mindset around habits. For example, let's assume you have a habit of working out and this is something you haven't done for a while. You want to work out every single day. And these are just examples to illustrate, okay? You want to work out every single day and you want to meditate every single day. Those two habits. The first mindset shift is to start small. If this is the first time you are committed to implementing habits and you are actually incorporating habits that you don't have already, I would fully recommend you to start small, meaning start with 1 to 2 habits, maybe 3. If you're like me, maybe 5. No, I'm joking, but seriously. So start with 1 to 2 habits that you are wanting to implement and dedicate to these habits the execution of 2 minutes. I have clients that they're not used to reading or meditating, and I've been telling them just 2 minutes. Just show up every single day for 2 minutes. If you show up for 2 minutes working out or 2 minutes meditating, those are 4 minutes. Seriously, super easy to follow through, super easy to implement. Just 4 minutes for these 2 habits. And working out, here's the thing, you have to let go of perfection if you want to start small. Working out can be 50 jumping jacks and 50 squats. That's it. Something that I've been doing every single day since we started January to be more active, because a lot of my work is coaching clients and working in my digital course. So a lot of it is just sitting down. Something that I've been doing every single day is 100 jumping jacks and 100 squats. And this is something I actually use these tools that I'm going to teach you about today. Okay, so it's going to be life changing for you. So start small in terms of the number of habits and in terms of the timing you are dedicating to them. Now, if you do 2 minutes of meditating and you feel inspired to continue going, great, amazing. You met and exceeded that expectation. We say 2 minutes because it's really easy to implement, it's easy to show up, and doesn't leave you with a feeling of, I failed again, I didn't follow through again, right? Because 2 minutes is way easier to achieve than 20 minutes, than 1 hour. I have a client that I'm coaching right now. She's amazing. And she wanted to do 30 minutes of yoga every single morning. And this is the first time she's resuming this habit. So after a couple of questioning, I started asking her questions to make sure this was achievable and realistic. And after 5 to 6 questions, we just realized that this was not something she was going to follow through. So we incorporating that feedback, we stayed flexible, and she started doing 2 minutes of stretching. Like, as simple as that. What you want to be striving for is consistency, not perfection. It's progress, not perfection. Because once you have been showing up for 2 minutes every single day for a month, imagine how much momentum you are going to gain to continue implementing more time in those habits and even more habits. So start small, build that strong foundation, build that mindset, and also build your confidence in following through. That is so important. The second mindset shift, which I knew this at a higher level, but after I read Atomic Habits, I have such a deeper understanding of it. The second mindset shift is to make the habits you want to implement easy to execute. And I used to say all the time, I heard this from Tony Robbins a few years back, complexity is the enemy of execution. You make it too complex, you're not going to execute. So the habits that you want to implement, make them as easy as possible. For example, I ask my clients to track the progress of their habits, and some of them initially they are like, oh, I'm going to start a spreadsheet in my computer, I'm going to start tracking it there. And I always ask the question, is opening your computer and opening this file a habit already? Because if it's not a habit already, then you would be working in 2 new habits back to back, and that's not efficient in terms of execution. Naturally, it's not going to come to you. What I've done myself and what I've been recommending to my clients is to print this habit tracker, which I'm going to talk about in terms of the tools of habits. Just give me a second. So print this habit tracker and just put it in a place that is highly visual. Cody and I, we have it in our refrigerator. So it's there every morning. I literally have a pen next to it. And after I do my 100 squat and 100 jumping jacks, I just check it off. So having this habit tracking mechanism visible for you, that you don't have to create another habit in order for you to execute, it's so important. So if you go to the kitchen every morning and you open the fridge the fridge every morning, and you see that habit is in place already, you're not needing to create a new habit in order to see that tracking mechanism. So make it as easy as possible for you. One, to measure habits. Two, to visualize that mechanism that you're using. And three, make it easy also in the execution. And that's where the 2 minutes comes into place. Just quick 2 minutes, go, done. Just marking that off feels so good. The other mindset shift that really falls in this category is making the habits you don't want to keep hard. Something that I've been working on. I love watching shows, TV, and people are like, do you have time to watch TV with all that you do? Because I'm always posting in social media and doing a million things. And I'm like, I don't have time. I find the time. So definitely watching TV has been a thing that I've been working on. And one of my goals for these first 3 months of 2023 is to not watch TV. So making this habit hard can be, for example, taking the batteries out of the TV control, and hiding the batteries somewhere, or asking your husband or someone else to hide the batteries for you. So it's not easy to execute. Because whenever you want to watch TV and you remind yourself, oh my God, I don't know where the batteries are, then that process of finding the batteries, putting it back in the TV, it does take time. So what you want to do is make those habits that you want to let go of, that you want to break the pattern of, as hard as possible to execute. And that's why a lot of nutritional coaches and physical transformation coaches, they recommend people to clean their pantry completely, let go, put in the trash all that food that is not contributing to your goal. Because if it's not there, you're not gonna eat it. So this follows the same concept around making those bad habits really hard to execute, and making the good habits you want to follow through with super easy to execute. I have this coaching client that she had already a habit of every day just tracking the medicine she was taking. So every day she would have a tracking sheet and she would track every single day, marking the medicine. Monday I got it, Tuesday I got it. And I was like, you know what? Leveraging that habit that you already have would be genius, because she already has the habit of tracking every day the medicine. And what we ended up doing is, to her tracking sheet, we added the rest of the habits she wanted to implement. So it's just in front of her at all times. And she has already the habit of looking at that sheet every single day. It was just perfect. So in summary, the mindset shifts are: start small, in terms of timing, in terms of number of habits you want to implement. And the second one is the habits that you want to follow through with, make them as easy to implement as possible. And the ones you want to let go of and you don't want to keep, the ones you want to break the pattern because they are not healthy, they are not helpful, make them as hard as possible to implement. Executing and putting into practice these mindset shifts and this how, which I explained on how to apply these concepts, is going to be a game changer for your habits. It has been for me, it has been for my clients, and I continue to be so impressed at how easier it is to execute when you have the right systems in place. Let's talk about tools. Now that we are talking about systems, let's talk about the 2 tools I'm utilizing myself. And one of them is the one that I recommend to all of my coaching clients right now. Like, I'm just obsessed with this one. The first one, having a habit tracker. Now, this habit tracker is super simple. I actually got the idea from the planner, from the habit tracker that James Clear has. And what he does is that he creates columns for each one of the days. For example, one column for 1 to 3 until day number 31st, because most months have 30 days or 31 days. And then there is one column where you are going to write down your habits. And once you write down your habits, now you have your days in columns, and you can start just checking. Okay, January 1st, done. January 2nd, done. January 3rd, done. And this is a template that you can print out for every month because it doesn't vary. This is like a very standardized template. I really hope you can understand. The high picture is to make sure you have all of the days number-wise. We don't really care about Monday, Friday. We just need the numbers. Number 1 to 31 in columns. And then you can have in the first column the habits which you are tracking. It's super simple. You can print it out easily and effortlessly. And the most important part, you need to put that sheet in a place that is visible. I mentioned that already. And I know how it goes. You're thinking that the computer is going to work out great. But if you don't remember to open that digital spreadsheet, that digital Google sheet, it's not going to happen. So let's make it as easy as possible. Just build your own habit tracker. It doesn't have to be that complicated. Now, if you have a planner, for example, Janet, I have a planner. Do I do it there? Do it there only if you have the habit of looking at your planner every single day. If that habit is not built, just build that one sheet, print it out for the 12 months of the year, and put January in your refrigerator. As simple as that. Okay, we don't want to complicate it anymore. The second tool, and honestly, this tool, oh my God, if you take it seriously, it can change the way it can change your consistency completely. Now, this tool, and I'm giving you a disclaimer, this tool is for the people, which I'm sure you are that people because you're listening at this podcast and growth is in your top values. This tool is for all of you who are committed to making it happen just right now. And this tool, it's creating a habits contract. And you may be thinking, a contract with who? A contract with your accountability partners. Oh my God, there is so much more just in that sentence. Like a contract with your accountability partners. This idea was something that Cody, my husband, started implementing after he read Atomic Habits. And then I followed him because I loved this idea. This contract summarizes your habits in a very specific and measurable way. And it also documents the consequences of you not following through with your habits. And I'm going to explain that in a second. And at the end of the contract, you have your accountability partners, which are the ones doing a quality check just to make sure you're following through with your habits. And they keep you accountable. So they literally sign that contract with you, and that contract is sealed. So the only thing you have to do is to follow the terms and conditions. And if you violate this habit, which I'm sure is not going to happen, you got to follow through with the consequences. It is so simple, but so powerful. Again, it's creating a contract with a summary with your habits. Just open a Word document. This doesn't have to be complicated. Write down your habits. Write down the consequences of not following through with your habits. And get 1 to 2 accountability partners that will keep you accountable. Let's talk about accountability partners for a second. Not everyone is a great accountability partner. You need someone who will really make you accountable. Not a best friend that is going to be like, it's okay, you didn't follow through, it's going to be fine. You need someone that really, that person is going to make you accountable, because that way you are going to motivate yourself to follow through, okay? For example, Cody is an amazing accountability partner, and I think I'm a very good accountability partner for him. Now, my mom wouldn't be a great accountability partner. I remember telling her, I don't know, this was like maybe 3 weeks ago, Mom, I'm not eating rice at night, okay? Like this is part of the new healthy habits that I'm following. No rice at night. And literally 3 hours after, she's like, Janet, do you want rice for dinner and fried plantains? And I'm like, Mommy, I just told you I didn't want rice. So that wouldn't be a great accountability partner. She's great at many other things, and accountability is not one of them. So get you amazing accountability partners that, again, will keep you accountable. Let's talk about the consequences. Consequences can vary for every single person, but as you think of your consequences of violating your habits, I want you to push yourself to document something that will make you really uncomfortable. That just the thought of that, you are like, no, thank you. I'm going to follow through with my habits. For example, so Cody sent $300 to his accountability partners. I was there. So he sent me $300 and he sent his other accountability partner $300. If he violated his habits, we would keep the $300. Myself and his accountability partner, total $600. If he would stick to his habits, and he did this for like a month and a half, we would give him back the money he had deposited in our Venmo account. Okay, so for him, the consequence was paying money. For me, the money, I wouldn't find it as effective to me. I mean, of course, I wouldn't like it, but to me was different. My consequence, if I violate my habits, and Cody is my accountability partner, it would be, oh my God, this is so funny. It would be to email my email list of hundreds of people for 5 days back to back, saying that I had a habits contract and I didn't follow through with the contract. Like literally 5 days back to back. I imagine that would be so annoying. And also kind of like, I don't know, to me that wouldn't feel nice at all. So definitely I don't want to get there. And therefore I'm following through with my habits. So the consequences need to be something that you really find painful in a way. And there is this trainer that his sessions, he makes you run like 3 miles in each one of his classes. And running is not one of the things that I enjoy. And I also thought of like, if I break my habits, I need to take his class 3 Fridays in a row. That would be so painful for me. Like that would be like a heck no. So it has to be something, again, that is uncomfortable to you, that is painful. And just thinking of that, it will give you the motivation to continue following through. So the habits contract, super powerful. I'm using it right now. Cody used it. And this is something I haven't implemented yet with my coaching clients, because the habits tracker for them has been super, super effective. And it is something that I would definitely give as a tool as I move forward. Okay, so let's summarize this amazing episode. Again, I highly recommend Atomic Habits. I think it was such a great compilation of techniques, strategies, mindset shifts, of how we can sustain change and follow through with our habits. It does take energy, it does take time, it does take effort, and the return is incredibly worth it. The 2 mindset shifts we discussed in terms of creating and sustaining these habits, one is start small, start simple. The other one is for the habits that you want to implement, just make that execution as easy as possible. If you had a habit already built into your routine, leverage that habit and link that habit to the new one that you want to build. And for the bad habits that you want to break off with, that you want to break the pattern, make that execution as hard as possible so you don't follow through with those. And the 2 tools that are incredibly helpful, building your habit tracker. and just putting it in a visual place where you can actually document and follow through with those check marks that feel so good. And the last one is, if you're so committed, super ready to go, build a habits contract where you have accountability partners and you have a consequence if you don't follow through with your habits. I hope this was super helpful. I just wanted to record a podcast episode on habits because all these mindset shifts and these tools and strategies have been like incredibly helpful for me, and I've been seeing results with myself and my clients. So I hope you enjoy it. And if you found value to this, please share with friends and family. I always enjoy so much, and I love this community so much that we really want to continue spreading the light of empowerment. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have an amazing week. Take care. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening at With Clarity and Purpose. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Sharing is caring. Please share with your friends and family so we can continue building an empowered community together. I'll see you next week.